Hey there, I'm Tracy Rigdon, and this is the Contrast Project Lounge podcast. Often random, but always relevant, always real, and practically nothing is off limits. This podcast is for you. Are you ready for this? Let's do it. Welcome back to the program, guys, and thank you so much for joining us on another edition of Wednesday Night Live of the Contrast Project Lounge podcast. Joining me, as always, my special co-hosts, Jim Alabiso and Charles Gaskins. Guys, how are you doing?
All right. Yeah.
Everybody looks good tonight.
My favorite day of the week.
I know. And you know, we got a very special guest tonight, Jim, somebody you know well. And hey, before we got started on this, Jim said, believe it or not, there's some people out there that don't know Mal. But that's hard to imagine if you come from Northeast Florida, because Mal Jones, our guest tonight, happens to be a local icon in the hip-hop community in Northeast Florida. Mal, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, man. What's up? What's up, Tracy? How you doing? Jim, long time, man. Jim, great seeing you, man. Always.
Yeah, it's been a while. You guys, I've told you guys this before, but, Mal joined us on the program when Shelton was with the show back in like 2021 when we were in the studio in Murray Hill. That's been a while.
Yeah, Shelton's my dude, man. Shelton's the greatest, man.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. That we were talking before too that we like to go back to the beginning. So let's go way back when you came back to Jacksonville. You moved to Jacksonville, Florida, and then you're the founder of the Lyricist Live, which you do downtown at the Art Walk that is downtown every first Wednesday of the month, and it's been going on since what, 2011, Mo?
2011. I from May 2011 to May 2025, 2025. I know it's somewhere in the 160th shows, man. We've done a lot of shows downtown Jacksonville. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said this before, and I've heard you say it many times, and you post it too, that in all that time there's been there's no profanity on the mic, and there's been no violence recorded.
Yeah, I would say, man, it's been no violence at all, no cursing for 13 years straight, and I wouldn't say no profanity, because what lyricism does is enable you without cursing to say something profane with the words we use every day, Right. Shakespeare did it, a lot of...
it's ribaldry. Yeah.
There's a lot of ways around it, and I just want the average rapper to explore those, those ways to get their point across, get their message across. And that's what we've been doing, man.
That's a beautiful thing. And Jim, you have some history with Mal as well, and it has to do with the theater.
Yeah. So, it was that. And, well, let me put it this way. So I think it was in 2016, right? Is that when this was? And that picture is in London. Right, exactly. This is when it was Tony Already got you and Overstreet Ducasse to be our art ambassadors in Bristol, right? Man, that experience is there you are. This was one of your Facebook posts. Yeah. The Cultural Council had a program titled the Jax BRS program, where
Jacksonville artists represented Jacksonville in Bristol, England, because Bristol, England is the sister city of Jacksonville, Florida. They're like these two cities are like on the river, and that's their like what is their likeness to each other, and they have this cultural arts program that is the first one of its kind, where a representative from Jacksonville goes over to London. And I had just finished working with somebody who Jim knows, a great person, Barbara Corcello,
Colicello.
yes. and uh, me and Babs were doing this project inside of the Comer Museum, where they had this Shakespeare thing. So I wrote a piece that educates people on who Shakespeare is, but it's like a rhyme, because I grew up like learning about Shakespeare. My father was a Shakespeare fan, a poet, and a jazz musician. So he would have me come into these clubs, these smoky jazz clubs, when I was 5 years old, and I'd say, to be or not to be, that is the question. And it's my earliest memories. Like, and
Great.
yeah, I lost my father shortly afterwards, but I always had his literature and his writings with me growing up as an artist, as a lyricist. And 35 something years later, I was able to, honor my father's memory by actually going to London as Jacksonville's first cultural ambassador of the arts. Like that it's a mind blowing experience, because it started in my childhood. And yeah, man, shouts out to Tony Allegretti, man. Tony Allegretti is the GOAT. Yes,
He made that.
dude.
He made that happen, and then it was then we wrote an article about it for
Right.
Artist magazine, right?
Right. It was
Yeah, yeah.
article around.
Dukas and Jones bring it to Bristol, so we had like music, right? Lyricist, and that was great.
Man, y'all designed that. Oh, that article is designed so great, man. It's literally in the video that I just put out called "The Nice Place to Visit." That I showed that article
Yeah.
during that video. So yeah, man, thanks again, man. That was dope.
And this is up in my place, actually.
Yep.
Um,
That's when we came after we came back.
right. After you came back, we wrote the article, and yeah, you can like Google it if you wanted to, if anybody wants to read about your Bristol trip, because it was really, really great. Not the article itself, but just the fact that you guys went out there. But I had to ask you this, because I saw this picture as I was going through the pictures. Do you remember this?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you know that record? I hope you still have it,
Oh, you know I have it.
because
Yes.
that thing's worth some bucks now.
Listen, that song, "What You Won't Do for Love,"
Yeah.
that it was one of my favorite songs. And to get that album, man, it was like, it was like an accomplishment, just like going to London for the first time.
You
Acquiring
know where I
album was
you
like
know where I got
an infinity stone.
you know where I got that. I don't remember why I was in California, but I was at a Warner Brothers producers event for all the new music coming out, and so they gave me this Valentine shaped Caldwell gem of a record,
That's
So
beyond the gem, yo.
I know it's so
Beyond the gem.
it was so cool.
Yes, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. But if you Googled Harvest magazine and Mall Jones and Bristol. You'll the article will pop up if people want for our audience wants to read it.
Yeah. What was the name of that article? Like, back to Bristol or?
It was this here. It was called Ducasse and Jones bring it to Bristol.
Bring it to Bristol. Yeah, that was.
Bring it to Bristol. Yeah. So
that's actually that picture right there is me, and I recited my Shakespeare piece at like a 200-year-old castle in London.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Have you been back? Have you been back to England since?
No, man. I'm trying to go, yo. I'm trying to go. I miss Bristol, man. I made friends there that I still communicate with, that I still talk to, you know.
I have friends over there too, and I've been going almost every year for the last 2 years. And it's at Cheltenham and Bristol because we have friends in Bristol and all that too. And I love it out there.
Yeah,
maybe we can just go one day. We'll just go buy some tickets.
Yeah, we're going.
We can make a contrast project trip.
Listen, pack your bags, Jim. We're out of here.
I'm ready to go.
We've got Zach in the room right now watching.
Hey, Zach.
Yo, Zach.
Gonna pop on.
He said, excellent video. Excellent video if I do say so.
You did play the video?
No, he was talking about it. Oh, yeah, Zach just said, let's go to Bristol.
Yeah.
No, he knows that would make an awesome video. He knows it. Yeah. That's my shooter, yo, Zach. Like, me and Zach worked together so well. We shot, the video, the Ode to Duval, A Nice Place to Visit. And that man, Zach, bro, like, he came with ideas and he let me come with ideas. But everything we said, it just worked. Look. If you ask anybody, I am the hardest person in the world to work with. See, I thought that until I met Zach. Zach will argue with you. We work together so well. Everything just comes together, man. I love Zach. I love his work ethic. I love his eye as a videographer, man. And yeah, man, I appreciate him for sure.
We had Zach to remind the audience, if you guys didn't tune in last week, Zach was on last week.
Yeah,
we talked a bit about that. But before we move too far into the future, I did want to talk about this. So this was your first acting job, right? That was my play, but it was your first. It was my first play, and it was your first acting job, right?
Jim Alabiso wrote this fantastic piece titled "All the Angels." It followed various people's stories, and one of the stories I played, like this man that has I don't want to kill it, but
no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Listen, you gotta look more into Jim as a writer. I respect writers, Jim, and you following those people's stories. And I was the man Will that people thought was ill, but he was really, he really had a mind, man, and just all that he went through, I related to what I had been through in my life, and Jim picked a good role for me. And yeah, thank you for that.
Well, thank you, because it just worked out so well. But, one of the things about that whole experience, and this was directed by Barbara Colacello, since we happen to be mentioning her, but it was a really great collaboration. It wasn't just Jim writing a play. I mean, I never, Barbara taught me how to write a script because I wrote the book, and she kind of, mentored me through writing the script, and then I went on to do another one later. Um, but Mal had a suggestion. I remember this. Do you remember the suggestion that you made
About
about one particular crop?
You, I run my mouth, so I can't pinpoint one. I probably ate a couple, but if any of them stuck, I love to hear which one that was, because I'm instantly gonna say, "Oh yeah."
Okay. Well, I'll never forget it. But I stole a little bit from Mark Twain for this story, and um, and in one of his books, he talked about watermelon is the food of the angels.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So I used watermelon as a prop and a thread along a lot of the chapters, right? And you were like, I don't know, there's just too much watermelon in here.
Yeah. We gotta get rid of it.
Yeah, because it was associated racially. Because that was the problem, right?
Well, I mean, I don't think that was. I could see how it could be perceived, though I respected the writing, but all I thought is how it could be better viewed and better received. You see what I'm saying? Because
so
I know that wasn't the case, but certain
it could be. It's a perception, right?
Yeah, perception.
Yeah. So I made the adjustment, and it worked out really well. So this is these art pieces, by the way, were done by Marcus Williams. So here's
he paid.
And then this was your fellow angels right here. That was in their cast. And then this is us with Marcus, the guy that did the artwork. And
how is everybody, man? Are you still in contact with everybody?
Well, some of them have moved away. I'm in touch with Marcus. As a matter of fact, I have all some of the artwork hanging on my walls. And of course, Barbara, And this was our group, though. Some of these people I still, see often. So, there you are, way in the back. That's the hero shot.
That's my position, man. I like to play the back. You know what I'm saying? People always think I want the spotlight, but nah, man. I'm just shining from back here. You know what I'm saying? I'm always playing the back.
Yeah, so this is the real Willis, by the way.
Yeah.
That's the real Willis. This was the one we spun the story off of.
Yep.
Yeah.
Willis.
Yep, and he's still around, man.
How about that?
Ankle deep in the water. Anyway, so that was kind of like the acting thing. And then that was like 2016, 17, somewhere around there, right? And then what happened next? What's next in the historical?
That might have been 2015, if I think about it. But yeah.
All right, I'll quit blabbing. Where are we next?
No, that along the 2000. Yeah, 2015, along the same time when you started this folk life apprenticeship program, teaching youth.
I got back from Bristol, England, 2016. That was
okay.
That was July, June, somewhere, summer 2016. But you said what were you talking about?
When you you were going into, and you were seen all over the television at the time, I remember, about your educational program that you were working with youth on.
Yes, I've done a couple of those. I try to take hip-hop into the school. I was just blessed by the grace of God to bring it into the public school system without a college degree. I've even brought it in colleges without a college degree, and to be able to be blessed to achieve the level of mastery that'll get you in those places without a degree teaching um, just excellent, man. I've been to a few schools, just um, educating with hip hop culture,
Right.
whether it's recording things to memory, learning, remembering answers for a test. There's a lot of ways you can use rhyme to like advance your mind in
Sure.
education, you know. So
Definitely.
that's what I try to
Sure.
do.
And I saw where you had also did a educational program uh, in a collaboration with JEA.
Oh yeah, I've written 2 songs for JEA and the Jacksonville Electric Authority, and they are electrifying.
Yeah, they
No,
they
but
must they
uh,
must be. They just gave their CEO a huge raise.
Oh,
oh,
yeah, I was reading about that. Yeah.
well. This needs to get to the CEO and let him know that I'm ready for the JEA album. You know,
Oh, there you go.
yes, because I'm blessed that they took a chance doing a project. That's another first of its kind. Jacksonville hip hop artist doing an educational program for the electric company.
Yeah, it's like the Jones Electric Authority.
Yes, I mean, I grew up on, you know,
Tracy just got that.
yeah, look,
Yeah, I got it.
the Jones Electric Authority. Look, that's what we need. That's what everybody needs, right? But it's a blessing that they took a chance
there
and let
might be there might be some B-roll on that coming up.
probably.
Well, you know what?
Yeah.
I should give you some because the JEA sign is in Wayne Wood's backyard. I go
Yeah,
over there and
he ain't
shoot some B-roll.
listen, speaking of Wade Woods,
Yeah,
man, shouts out to Wade Woods, man. We're working on something special in relation to the Shakespeare thing.
oh, really?
I'm publishing a book, yeah, and yeah,
Nice.
it's coming. It's coming. The Shakespeare
Oh, well,
is
Cool.
coming. Yeah, so
is Wayne helping you with going through the
abs-
process?
absolutely, absolutely. So I would love it no other way, man. Wayne is a Jacksonville legend. He
He
is
is.
Yeah.
story. He is a
He
Jackson
is.
historian. He is like such a down to earth guy to be everywhere. Like I mean, he's amazing, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Wayne Wood.
The whole, even, it's the running thread through almost everything we've talked about is just like this fine collaborative relationships we have with our community here in Jacksonville.
Mm-hmm.
We don't, we're better together. I mean, that was the whole point of All the Angels. That was the moral at the end of that
Right.
poignant story, right? Better
Right.
together. And it just seems like, you work with Barbara or Wayne or you or your fellow actors and friends and just put it all together and just, the expectation is just to trust everybody and everybody does their best at what they do and the outcome is just great. Even if it's not perfect, it comes out
Yeah.
with passion. So yeah.
It's what you're saying, like, means so much because there's this Jacksonville has always had this stigma where you artists don't work together. It's a crab pot mentality where once somebody gets a little bit of shine, somebody pulls them down, and I just think that's what happens with jealousy or whatever type of feeling somebody might feel when they feel like they deserve something
Mm-hmm.
that you have.
Yeah.
But none of them want any of my struggles. None of them could stand the test of time. I've done hundreds of art walk shows, and I've had like very few people that stayed no matter what all these years. And people like you, people like Jim, people like Wayne, people like Barbara, people like Deborah, we're all like connected through just wanting to like help each other. And my man Prana Self been here with me since the beginning, and I've been rocking with him, and he's been rocking with me, and we've been able to go 160 shows downtown.
That's cool. That's
Violet.
cool.
A national television. We're on the Hulu right now.
Yep.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It's a blessing.
It's just so cool. It is. It really is to be able to be able to pick up the phone, and call a friend or buddy, and say, "Hey, do you want to collab on this or that?" And it just works here,
Yeah.
So, it really does.
I mean, and you're one of the Jacksonville great collaborators. So you're part of that.
Look, Jim, go make a mural of that and put it somewhere in the city.
Okay. The great collaborators.
Because I want it to be known, but I'm a great collaborator, but I'm a serious artist. Like that, there's a divide there. That everybody might want to work with me, but nobody wants to deal with an asshole. And I can go there. With art. You see what I'm saying? So, I love people like my man Prana Self, who always been down with me because they know it's what it is. You know,
we did have a little short period in Jacksonville where there was a little ego stuff going on. Like when we had some murals done over here that were done from people in Europe, right? Yeah. And it was like, hey, it's not like no Jacksonville artists did stuff. I mean, we had Jacksonville artists doing some stuff, but we also had some people from Europe. And when people used to mention it to me, and I said, Overstreet, right? And Mall did stuff in England. So what are you complaining about?
Like I went over there with the king. I went over
connecting
to
bridges
London.
around the world.
Yeah.
Right. This is diversity of culture, and we just kind of share stuff. Right. I'm sure you learned some stuff in England, mate. Did you learn anything in England, mate?
Listen, I went to London as a black man with the King's English and did it very well, to where they was like the Brits were like, it's pretty good. And it just to be able to go somewhere else, express my art, and it to be accepted, it was great too. So I accept like artists. They can come from anywhere. They can come from Mars and come to Jacksonville, and I'm gonna appreciate it because I'm not only willing to work with them if they're dope. I feel like I'm gonna do some dope shit too. And like I don't feel like, because somebody else does their thing, like intimidated by their art. And that's the thing. You're not intimidated by somebody's art. You can do great art with them.
Right, exactly. That's an opportunity for fusion, right?
Right.
And you lift each other up, yeah.
There's a couple of little cliques of artistic, little cliques around town, different areas. You got Murray Hill, and you got, Hope McMatt's Yellow House is another collaborative space. All of those in the warehouse district there. Oh yeah, and you got the Phoenix Arts District.
I remember when Yellow House was put up. When it was built. Yeah.
I remember when Hope was over at the Comer.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember Hope at the Comer.
She was so nice to me, and she helped us get to the sea, that play going over there. So it was just wonderful that she was just added so much to my life. As she's asked to many other folks. But yeah, Yellow House is great. So what's next?
What's next?
What's next?
Well,
what's next in your future there, Mal?
I know, right? It's like I've done a lot of stuff. Like, what could I do? What's next is making $1 million.
Getting balloons. What the hell? Sorry.
That has to be next. But what art is always going to be next. I've always got something else. The way my O2 is some form of creativity. You know, I've got like 7 things on the on the burners. Well, what's absolutely next is the Art Walk, March 5th, downtown at the Jacksonville Art Walk, the Lyricist Live, open mic site for MCs. We encourage kids, women, rappers that are serious to, if you're serious about rap and you respect hip hop, I want you to grab the mic and I want to hear what you say. You might not even think it's great, but I'm gonna, me and Prada gonna love it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, March 5th, that's the very next thing.
And whenever you're doing, is it going to be in the same place down there by John Phillips' office?
Yep, Laura Street. John Phillips is not there anymore. 212 North.
Right.
Yeah.
So then, what about the book? When's the book coming out? Do you know?
Oh man, you gotta give me. You got to give me a few months on that, man. I'm being so.
Yeah. Okay. So that's just one of the things out in the future. And tell me about.
Tell me about this. In the future. That's far in the future. Okay. Boom. And this is how you support. You get this book. It gets closer and closer. We need donations and support to help us get this thing off the ground. Like I said,
absolutely.
This book, Hip Hop Shakes, talks about my life story, my family history. I've had my uncle Ali Abdullah. He is the first cultural ambassador of the arts in Detroit.
How about that?
His 86th birthday is coming up. he lives in Atlanta, and he's one of my heroes. He's the first cultural ambassador of Detroit. I'm the first cultural ambassador in Jacksonville, and these are 60 years apart.
It is.
My Uncle Ali is definitely somebody who I champion. My father's brother, all of my father's brothers were artists, and I'm just glad I got a little bit of it.
We're looking forward to seeing how much what you're going to be doing in 2025 and beyond. Hey, Charles, have you got any closing thoughts for us?
Use that QR code. Everyone watching.
Oh, yes. Episode 26 of Impact on Hulu is the episode featuring Jacksonville artists. It's
okay.
This actual episode is about the violence in drill rap in Jacksonville, and they followed us because they couldn't believe ABC in California couldn't believe that there was a subset of rappers in Jacksonville that were nonviolent, that were promoting peace and no cursing. It blew their mind.
Can't believe something like that exists.
Yeah. The producer called me and was like, "Yo, we can't believe that all this news and everything we're hearing out of Jacksonville, that you have this nonviolent thing. So we want to make you a part of the story." And the writers of that show showed so much respect and treated the story of the Lyricist Live so well. Just shouts out to ABC, Impact. The news usually you think they're gonna spin a story and have me looking like the biggest gangster that ever came out of Jacksonville. They didn't do that.
Well, you would think.
And rest in peace to one of the rappers that was featured on that. Julio passed away since that, episode. They followed him, his story, and he passed away, sadly afterwards to the violence. We gotta stop it, and my message is just like what y'all were saying mid-show, is that we all come together, man. Hip hop can heal. You already see what's going on in the hip hop world.
Oh, yeah.
The roles are changing, and good stuff is seeing a light of day. And I respect and thank you guys and everybody who supported Lyricist live over the years.
Absolutely. Sure. Jim, you got anything to share with us before we end the program tonight?
Yeah, Jim knows
the QR code. The QR code. Make sure you use that.
Right. I'll share that, and I like what you said there, Mal. Is it mouth?
You did it.
He did it. He did it.
You said that you said hip hop can heal. Well, that's the whole point about art, anyway. Yeah. Right? I mean, that's what art does. When somebody sits there and looks at a painting or a sculpture or listens to a song or a poem or a lyric or something is moved, and so they're there for a reason. They're there to be moved, touched, something to get connected or whatever. So yeah, art heals, and hip hop is one of those arts that heal, for sure. So I really appreciate you coming on and all the stuff we did together and that you've done and collaborated with so many people and really brought Jacksonville together collaboratively.
Absolutely.
So
yeah.
Jim, we're going back. Don't forget.
So I'm not going to forget.
I
want to talk to you about it anyway. We'll do that later.
No, definitely. Okay.
Well, thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time.
Thank you so much for having me, man. Tracy, man. Y'all have a good day. Everybody, have a good night. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everybody. See you next Wednesday.
Peace, Jim. Peace.
Well, that's a wrap. Another fantastic episode of the podcast. You can find us on all the social media platforms, wherever you surf, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter X, Threads, wherever. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. And on our YouTube channel, don't forget to like, share, comment, and smash that subscribe button. If you're streaming audio for the podcast, you can find us wherever you get your favorite podcast programs. In the meantime, I like to tell everybody, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, peace.